So I want to really bring this short manifesto for this LinkedIn group to a close with the question, why is thought leadership valuable, truly valuable for entrepreneurs and executives? Not just for the ivory towers, for academics, for high-level journalists, but for entrepreneurs and executives. And here's why. In almost all of your work, you are trying to build know, like, and trust with your communities. You have to attract new men and women into your community, whether that's talent to work with you, whether that's clients to purchase the services that you have, whether that's men and women in your community and there's no financial transactions at all, but you're trying to inspire them to do something in a different way, I don't know what it might be, but they certainly need to know you, who you are, what you stand for. So your thought leadership really defines who you are. It defines what you do. And it also communicates subliminally to the men and women in your particular audience why they should care about what you say. Remember, we asked this question, how do we craft messages that matter? And how can we be sure they're going to be listened to? Well, they need to be valuable, unique, and interesting. So this is why executives and entrepreneurs particularly need to be creating messages that matter, creating thought leadership pieces. Partly it's about getting that relationship started with the men and women in the community that matters to you. Liking, if you're communicating a message that matters, people will be attracted to you like a magnet. There's also this question of trust. Are you an expert? And how do we define expert? And clearly, if you've defined some unique research area of your own, you've captured a story in a book or a PDF, you've communicated that story through some speech or in a conversation, in a workshop, then you're building trust. Your thought leadership builds trust with the men and women who most matter to you. So if you, as an entrepreneur, as an executive, need to attract new men and women into your community, if you have to demonstrate, showcase your expertise, and that you know how they can take their lives in a different direction, or if they can do their work in a different, a better way, if you can add value to the community that you serve, then you're building trust in the community that you care about. Thought leadership is paramount to attracting new men and women into your community and to building trust with that community. So let's drill into this just a little more. Why thought leadership for you as entrepreneurs and executives? Firstly, it'll help you to attract new clients, new men and women into your community. It'll help to showcase the expertise that you already have and the expertise that maybe your community needs to adopt or use in future. It can inspire your community that we need to behave in a different way to how we thought we should behave. And it can help you to build a platform for the future so that you can continue your research and continue to drive forward with your community and show them the new way forward. Why thought leadership? Well, it helps build your authority, particularly when you capture your thought leadership in book form. When you're an author, write a PDF, a white paper, you write something that people share because it's valuable, because they attribute it to you, then of course, if you're an author, you have authority. You created the story. You wrote the story. You wrote the book. Of course you have authority. Of course you have credibility in the minds of your audience, in the minds of your community. It can also, in a commercial sense, for us as entrepreneurs, us as business executives, it can help us to generate profits because people may want more of the services we can articulate in our thought leadership. So you can share why and what it is you think is important, but how you need to support them over that process, over time, to make that happen. And that's how you can begin to generate additional profit. It's also a mechanism for sharing your legacy, your story. We each have a legacy to our family, of course we do, but you have a legacy to the to the company that you happen to be in. You have a legacy to the profession that you serve, whether you're an accountant or whether you're a scientist. You have a legacy to the industry that you happen to be in, whether that's healthcare or industrial engineering. You have a legacy to the region that you serve. All of these can be a part of your legacy. And if you're seeing the world in a different way from other men and women, then your legacy can be a part of your story. It can be part of your research to share how the accounting profession has changed, how the human resources profession has changed, how this region in the Middle East or the Far East or the West has changed. Share that. Your communications, your books, your speeches, your coaching, your workshops will share your legacy and touch and change the community that you serve. Of course, sharing your thought leadership will help you to raise your profile. You're putting your hand above the parapet and saying, I've got this idea. I think it's worth considering. And the thought itself, the idea itself, the interesting idea, the valuable idea will, in a way, become attractive in its own right. People will share this around, and you will have your profile raised as a result of the work that you do. This is a way of marketing, of being, that doesn't involve you saying, pick me, like the donkey in Shrek. This is a way of being, a way of marketing that allows your work to speak for itself. So, research, writing, speaking, 3 pillars of thought leadership: being valuable, making sure it's unique, and being interesting. 3 dimensions of the work that you create. That's what you need to do to create messages that matter and to share messages that matter. That's what we're going to be doing here in this LinkedIn group. This has been a little bit of a manifesto for that, to share with you our thoughts, Jackie's and my thoughts on how you can create messages that matter. So how do we move forward from here? Well, post your questions in the LinkedIn group and we'll do our best to answer them. Maybe other men and women in the group can also answer them for you. Invite a friend, someone that you think would benefit from being involved in the discussion. Maybe they've got something to contribute on this journey to explore messages that matter. And if you want to get every insight that we post here on the LinkedIn group, if you're not on LinkedIn that regularly, then go to thoughtleadershipchannel.com and make sure that you sign up so that we can share with you every insight that we have, every insight that is happening on the discussion here. I look forward to reading and reviewing your own thought leadership as you create it in the weeks and months ahead. Thanks for watching. I look forward to talking with you again soon.
I